the hell do you have on?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a Capsule Selection. Welcome to a connoisseur's conversation. Gentlemen, let's talk about the art of living. I always got a vibe for you. You know this is one. Today we're going to talk about what it is to have a conversation with others around you and let your fragrance be a part of that conversation. I want to talk about what it is to have an allure while not talking about spending so much money, not having to talk about how loud a fragrance is or how much it makes an interest. But I'm talking about how the quiet confidence is available through perfumery and through fragrances for a man who knows who it is inside of himself, who he is inside the dark. And when the work day fades and things like that, when we talk about the noise that lures, and when it's just about you and your presence and your energy, that is the particular time I'm talking about. So when we're talking about a fragrance in that realm, I got just a beautiful segment for you today about the art of living for men. This is a video about, chilling, about relaxing, about collecting bottles in some sort. It's about the creating of an atmosphere. It's about a ritual. It's about a signature. Today, we're going to talk about scents that when chosen right, they don't just say something. They say everything. It becomes something. It is you in that story that's being told. For the young men watching this video, this is for you as well. This is for a moment for you to start building your style, building your vocabulary around perfumery. For the older gentlemen, this is a great list for you guys. This one is about refining and refined moments. This is about the ones that you already have mastered, the time and effort that you put into your craft. And this is also about the words that you don't want to speak, the ones that you want a fragrance to speak for you. So in part to that language, this is the masculine art of living. Let's get right into it. So if this sounds like the type of content you think you'll enjoy, pull up a seat, pour a glass, and of course, let's enhance. Everyone, welcome back to the Dry Down, the lifestyle channel where we as enthusiasts aspire to enhance and elevate our olfactive sensory experiences through the understanding of the different aromas, facets, and nuances of scent, cigars, and wines. I'm, of course, your host, Chris. Welcome to today's wonderful experience. We're going to dive right in. We're going to talk about just a beautiful collection of eclectic perfumes that are just beautifully done, just of grandeur. These are fragrances for me I put into a rotation around the fall time, and it's just about these 6. These are fragrances that are in the realm of owning the night, so to speak. These are scents that don't just sit there and scream. They don't just go loudly. They are just ones that sit perfectly for an avenue for a man to wear a fragrance in. So when you talk about signing off on evening wear, when you talk about signing off on lounge settings, when you talk about lining up a great nightcap with a young lady, these are the ones that represent well. These are the ones for those type of moments. And these are the ones that present an essence where everything in between can be just done well. I want to talk about some that are just eclectic. And today I want to talk one specifically to start out that is truly masculine, truly enjoyable. And you guys know what this bottle is when you see it if you've been a part of my channel for a while. But this is the empty bottle that's cracked, and I'm going to just laugh it off. This is the scent of Tuxedo from YSL. Let's get into it. So gentlemen, here it is. This is YSL. This is the older bottle. I don't know if they formulated it new with the new particular bottles they came out with. Those bottles are really nicely done. Bottles with a black label, a little bit of a darker hue juice, or it may even be a gradient bottle color. I do enjoy those, and I think I will pick that up to actually replace this bottle. This bottle has been refilled in a 50 ml bottle from Amazon that I picked up, and I have a few in my collection in case anything does happen to my bottles, which did. This one starts to leak after dropping, we replace it. But this one here is about just midnight charisma. This one is that dark patchouli polish with a beautiful ambergris note that YSL did right. This is one of the community favorites, community hits, because it does things just right. Gently done. It's got this little sparkle of a great smell of a violet leaf that has that slight petrolic ambiance around it. This one here for those who want to have a sexy contrast. You have this in this fragrance. It's warm. It's slightly, I'll say this, the juxtaposition on this particular scent profile is wonderful because it's not only warm to the touch with that ambergris and patchouli, it's slightly metallic and polished because of the approach they use with the violet leaf along with the ambergris. So those two contrasting notes have a profound notion of what it is to have a refined and approachable fragrance. So to me, Tuxedo is one of those fragrances that just smells great. I enjoy this one because it's a fragrance that knows how to, represent well. When I say that, I say these things in just because to me, personality wise, I think perfumes have a certain personality. And so for this one, when you're wearing this fragrance and you walk into a room, you want to say few words, this is a great fragrance for you. You're a man, you're a masculine man, gentleman, you whatever the portrayal of personality-wise, character-wise that you portray, this one is a power move in a bottle. And so for the experienced gentleman, it's a great, great fragrance. Very, very well done. It's a reminder to me of the timeless ways that you can win. This is one of those type of scent profiles. Just something you can carry as a signature scent with your character. This scent is also for dim lit lights when you go talk about clinking glasses and drinking cognac and just having a mystery about you. So it has that sex appeal in it. When you want more out of a fragrance, you can't look any further than Tuxedo for the masculine art of living. It's a wonderful, wonderful fragrance to have in your collection. Great access point, slightly above in its price profile. Now I know that they have the bottles out that came about new, but it's very much so worth its price. And if you can't find this one or don't want to approach that price point, there's a wonderful, almost like a one-to-one. I don't know if it's a dupe. I don't have it in my collection, but I have smelled it. I believe it is Moustache from Rojas, and it is a great one-to-one style of this particular scent profile. So look at that one closely if you want to get this particular scent profile in your collection, but you don't want to spend a penny on it. This is Tuxedo from the brand of YSL. Next, let's get into Xerjoff, one of my favorite fragrances from that brand. This one here, this is Alexandria III. Now, many of you have known about Alexandria II, Alexandria Oriental. Alexandria III is that quiet luxury power fragrance that just plays so well with the creamiest of soft rose and sandalwood, giving this fragrance, man, it is by far one of the smoothest and most radiant trails that linger behind a gentleman when wearing this particular scent profile. The art of living is very much so said, well and done when wearing this fragrance. This is one where life it begins to linger. You got the echo effect around you. Everything around you is bouncing off you. The conversations are memorable. Life around you is unforgettable, and you don't want to wear something just so casually. You want to wear something with a little bit of opulence. You wear this one because you are the man who understands presence. It's something of an unsung hero when you're wearing a fragrance like this, because it is a profile that just radiates around you. Great sillage, great projection. And when you wear Alexandria III, it just feels different on skin. When it touches your skin, it elevates the room that you're in because the way that it pronounces itself with that rose oud combination in this one, along with some of the great ambiance that is created with Alexandria II. So you have everything that's in that wonderful fragrance with an additional smoothness to a more addition of the palisander and sandalwood with an elevated rose note. And to me, this is one of the most powerful fragrances in my collection, one of the most powerful statement makers in my collection. And so for a man to wear this when you're really making a seductive statement, this is just a seductive show of force. This is one that carries weight, and it's not because it tries to, it's because it is. You know what I mean? It's one of those fragrances that just the vibe is so correct when you wear this one. Not so much, like I stated, you don't want to wear this one casually. You want to put this one into that realm of opulence and evening wear. And you just, when you wear this, you become the most daring, sexy, and approachable man in the room, especially when it comes to your scent profile. So get your nose on A3. The rose edition in this one is fabulous. Beautifully done scent. Next, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about one of the better unsung heroes. Another statement to be made for the house of Amouage. This is Journey Man. This is the one, I'll say that now this one is the one that where you want things to get a little bit dangerous. You want things to get off the beaten path, so to speak. This one is a very spicy fragrance done with an abundance of Szechuan pepper, beautiful done cardamom, beautifully done tobacco, all accommodating to this sexy incense fragrance that feels like you're walking into a private lounge at midnight with the most beautiful woman on your arm in a short black dress, and you're wearing the finest of tailored evening wear, such as a nice shawl collar blazer or a nice cashmere cardigan, something like that. When you're going out with a mock neck, nice trousers, nice cap toe loafers, something in the realm cap toe double strap monks. You're wearing something elevated and you're presenting yourself with your woman in the best of lights. This is one of those fragrances that really represent well in that time frame where you have wine glasses, you have the fireplaces, you have the marble, but you also have woodwork and millwork around you that looks of a time of stately Baroque essence. This is a beautiful statement making fragrance because it is magnetic, simply addictive, and incredibly for what it is in its realm of spices. It is smooth as hell. You won't think of everything that I stated as very smooth, but once that Szechuan pepper spice kick lingers down, and then that tobacco and incense become one of the melding parts of this particular scent. It is a phenomenal wearing fragrance. Very powerful. And again, it's an amouage. This is a scent for the man who just really, when he's leaning into the conversation, he wants to be the conversationalist. He wants to talk. This is a grand fragrance. For Gen Z, when you buy into this fragrance, you're stepping into the grown man territory. You're stepping into the man of confidence, style, and era. This is the one for a Gen Z up into a millennial and beyond, to where you want to make, need to make, and have to make a statement. You want a fragrance like this in your collection. I've yet to smell any tobacco fragrance that comes in this lineage and DNA. Very spicy, very gentleman, very grown up. It's very, very sexy. Now, Gen Z, that's your statement to be made. For the older gentleman, this is a familiar language to you in some sorts, because it is a fragrance that can be one-to-one, but it is the power of the whisper that's inside of this particular scent that makes the move for you. You've been here before. You've done these things. This is the one for when it sits on your skin. You know that you are around loved ones. You know you're around power players, and you know that you're there to be a part of both. This is that type of specifically made, tuned, sexy fragrance. Once again, for the art of living, for gentlemen, you can't go wrong when you want the effect of a tobacco spice fragrance that just sits so well with incense and spices. I reiterate, the spices in this particular scent are so well done, and reiterate that it is a very heavy spice, but it becomes so smooth on the skin. You have to get your nose on this one. Journeyman from the House of Amouage. Next up, I got one of my new babies. It's been around for about a good 2 or 3 months now. I think this is going to be my scent of the day. This is unapologetically elegant. This is just, imagine deep brown velvet, soft light, that type of aura, that type of situation. The glass of soft, candlelight. Backdrop is fire. You got books on the shelves. You got snifters full of cognac. You got red wine, Merlot, Cabernet. You're sitting in rooms where you might have a small charcuterie board. You have a conversation going. The ambiance around you is soft lit. It is velvet seating. It is velvet couches. It is also ottomans sitting next to the fireplace. You hear the crackling of the wood. You're in a place of comfort. You're in a place of intelligence. You're in a place of masculinity. And you have this in your hands. You are the very best smelling person in the room with this scent on. Unapologetically elegant, but it's not for everyone. When you wear this one, this is a fragrance that is just calling with a lot of cumin. It has a lot of tobacco. It is wrapped in warm resins, honeyed spices, and a subtle sweetness that is just remarkably done. It's not heavy though, and that's intentionally. That's what Boadicea Victoria has done with this one. It's one of those fragrances in the line of the Sapphire collection that shows restraint. It shows upscale and reliable upscalability, because it does not scream and shout like Blue Sapphire will in some occasions, or many of the others will in occasions. But this one here is so smooth. It shows up and shows out because it's one of those fragrances that just is because it is, once again, to be stated. Tobacco, cumin, floral notes, spices, subtle sweetness, ambers. Like I stated, it is not for everyone. Do not go and blind buy this particular scent. Sample as best you can with this one. It is a part of a very extravagant line of perfumes that really do not speak to the mass appealing nose. But when you smell this, you will know that you have picked up one of the most special fragrances in a collection. It is a lot of warm spices, sweet tobacco, spicy, earthy cumin, and just it remarkably done from the brand of Boadicea Victorious. This is Tobacco Sapphire. Just elevated, man. It's upscale and elevated. Beautifully done. Next up, so ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to start doing is a lot of my decants and samples are coming in. I'm getting to know what these fragrances are through 5 and 6 mil, maybe some 3 mil samples. Great perfumery. I have to catch up to the buying process. I'm not going to go out and spend millions of dollars on these fragrances, but I am going to let you know that these are fragrances that I'm starting to sample. I'm going to start putting them in my list because they're worthy of purchase. They just have to be purchased in an indiscriminate amount of time, or should I say a discriminate amount of time. This one here is from the brand of Xerjoff, and this is Duran Duran Black Moonlight. If I ever say get your nose on a fragrance or get your hands on a fragrance, this is one of those particular scent profiles that really does it for me. It is a scent that is closely, I'll give you a reason why I'm has it on the purchase list, but it has to take its time because it smells of a very, very, very wonderfully done fragrance in my collection that has some closeness to it, which is from the same brand. It's Amber Star. Amber Star is very, very well done in the myrrh resin realm. This one, to my nose, picks up where that fragrance has done a great job of using myrrh, like Myrrh Imperial from Armani Privé. It is so well done in this particular scent. If you love myrrh, you can't go wrong with this one. The only thing about this one that differs it from those two in my eyes is an abundance of smooth Provençal lavender. If you are a fan of lavender, if you're a fan of saffron, you're going to have a great scent profile that you can pull out day after day after night. It's a modern scent with a great attitude, dark sensuality, very, very smooth fragrance. I'm enjoying it. It is on the buy list. So I think of this one as the mysterious shadow around it. Think of this one as the low music type of vibe. Think of this one as the proximity of being in a sexual setting where you're going to be on a date night, be on some level of lounge and flirtation. This is the one that has that type of explanation written all over it. It's for the younger crowd, to my nose, so somewhere under 45 under, even though Duran Duran is an older group, they really did bridge the gap by bringing this scent profile into something that the youth will love to wear. It can be an intro to luxury. It can feel like it's so current and so sophisticated that you can't get enough of it when you're wearing it as a Gen Z. For the older audience, the audience that's in the 55s, don't sleep on it though. It's one that is for you as well because it is a reminder of the refinement that we've been used to for years after years with these new companies, including Xerjoff, and we got a hold of some of their fragrances. So this one, it doesn't feel stiff, it doesn't feel stuffy, it's very, very resinous. Like I said, some of that fougere essence style from the actual lavender is in this one, and a smooth, spicy saffron. So this is a scent that is greatly blended, and it is one to be remembered. And this is the scent of Black Moonlight Duran Duran from Xerjoff. Get your nose on this one if you have the opportunity. So, gentlemen, as we close this particular list, this is something that just radiates strength. This is one of the smoothest leather-based fragrances that I've come across. Amber resins, touch of spice, very sexy, very smooth. This is one of those come hither fragrances. It smells like a fruity cocktail, herba pura style, fruit punch style, but with those spices. A slight leather touch, like I said. I don't even remember if leather is an actual accord in this one, but it has a smooth suede note in this one that I'm picking up, that I'm loving and adoring. It's one that you can understand if you understand having enough of Xerjoff fragrances in your collection. The vibe is so chill with this one. Sexy, sensual, very, very well done. From the house of Suspiro. Not saying that it's owned by Xerjoff anymore, but some of the leathers that Xerjoff uses, I've picked up in Suspiro, of course, and they are making these fragrances very well. This one is a scent that walks beside you, like, you know, it's that wingman type of fragrance, very much so in the masculine realm without being too loud, being overtly sexy. It's very, very flirtatious in a way, not so much sexual, but it's a classy one that needs no validation. The one thing about this fragrance that I'm not aware of, why they call it El Padrino, The Godfather speaks to something like one that maybe even Xerjoff would have made or did make years ago, like the Don, where I'm thinking of more spicy, more woody, more tobacco. The flinty smell that's in that one more brings and conjures the name El Padrino. This one, instead of being the Godfather, this one might be Michael. This one might be Michael in his youth to me. It's sexy. It's very, very sexy. It's flirtatious, more than sexy, so that's giving you exactly what I'm meaning by that, because it's super flirtatious, super sexy on the skin. It jumps up and touches every female nose that you walk by. It's a very confident fragrance as well. So whether you're 22 or 52, this is a fragrance that gives you the night. This is the one with that final signature that you put on when you're wearing a great outfit. You're wearing, you know, a casual outfit, nothing very upscale, nothing over the top as far as blazer or anything. You want to wear something with a nice button up, maybe a flannel, maybe a nice little cashmere jumper or a polo or something in that realm. You're just going out casual. You're wearing denim, some boots, nice little button up. You're going to be the one that represents well with this particular salon. It's what lingers after the conversation inside of this one that you are so much impressive with, because it ends the night in a dim night for you and the one that you want to take home with you. It is that great of a smelling fragrance. Very, very well done. El Padrino from the house of Suspiro, and it is one that has reflection written all on it. It is like one of those When you walk into the room, if you have a positive mindset, positive connotation to you, it's going to reflect that. And it's also chill as well. And so that's what I say when I mean reflective. This is a great fragrance to have in your collection. Il Padrino is special. Like I said, the only thing that peculiar to me is the name, but hey, what's in the name? Get your nose on Il Padrino. Gentlemen, my friends, my family, this is the Art of Living statement for me, and this is the one that is about performing. It's about living. It's about being. And these fragrances, like I always love to say, they're not just accessories. These are ones that are chapters in a story that you are telling, one that you are writing, and one that every single night that you are alive on this earth, you should put an entry into that book that you're writing. For me, this was about younger audiences, bridging the gap to older audiences. So I love talking to each and every one of you, all you gentlemen who are coming on new from 55 to 25. Like I stated, this is a great channel for you guys to explore and be a part of the community of. So for my older gentlemen, this is how you keep it sharp. This is how you keep it strong. And this is how you keep it undeniable, sexy, sensual, and alluring. For my young guys, long before the night turns into something that you want to take a female home with, these are ones that scents that choose you and your words perfectly. These are scents that are done with precision. These are scents that are done with presence and purpose. So pick these wisely. Pick the ones, get samples of these that I've just talked about. These are always great fragrances to have in your collection. Smooth, mellow, ambery, sophisticated tobacco, spicy, everything you want under the sun. And as I always say, scent is memory, collecting is legacy, and community is culture. We here at the Dry Down, we are the culture. Welcome to the community, gentlemen. Till next time, stay bold, stay balanced, stay enhancing. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.